Look at the Central Valley. All that good irrigation water that
Ungoogleable.
requires people to work for next to
Welcome to
nothing.
your life. Today
I went
is
to the,
wonderful.
At what was at the
Fuck
time
it.
the
We'll do it the right
tourist
way.
place in California was London, California. There are no signposts directing you to London, but I recommend you all go there sometime. You'll see what big data allows you to find. Now these are big data. They're allowing me to see places I can't otherwise see. It's all mathematical. And I thought it'd be sort of interesting, so we gained audience with Bill Lockyer, who was President Pro Tem of the Senate at the time. He looked at the map and he says, God, do you know the elements like the stereoscope? That's the world I lived in as a kid. Then there's image acquisition. Remember all the old films, Kodak, all that stuff? But one of the great heroes in my life is Willard Boyle. The CCD, my little camera today. Visualizing time and motion, all the wonderful things we can do with this technology. So what do we choose to do? Well, we could create new, fanciful landscapes. And I like this one, especially. Those of you that teach have to understand this. Students don't listen to us. They go to movies, and I found this on the web after I was contacted. It says, here's some responses to this movie, Piranha 3D. Looks like the kind of crappy horror film that fits my taste perfectly. That's filmed in Lake Havasu, Arizona. I've been in that lake, and it was after I saw the trailer. I was freaked out. This movie looks so gay, I'm ashamed to even be watching the preview.
For all the right reasons.
So let's look at the preview. They wanted to use some of my stuff. So let's look at what people think California is really all about. Earthquake.
See that gap right there?
Yeah.
Quake, open that up. Now it's a connecting passage.
Descending fissure.
It's 200 feet, Novak.
I hate movies like this.
Sam, what are you seeing down there?
It's like this body's been in the water for weeks.
I want to know what the hell this thing is doing in my lake.
Notice who's the scientist.
This particular piranha
I'm thinking about closing the lake.
There's us, and there's 20,000 kids.
I can see Bo in there.
The sheriff has declared an emergency. Don't worry, we got Pete over here! The first fight, draws blood. Draws the pack.
You get the idea. I'm always fascinated by movies. I know some of our kinfolk in geography find the cinema interesting. They talk about how it reflects the society and everything. I lived in the area a long time down there, about 40 years, and I tell it reflects the tastes of the people that make the movies and nothing else. But Google Earth and Google Search, that's really Centers of Disease Control. And they hit upon using Google. Google people were already doing this, and they found that they could track, in almost in real time, the outbreak of the influenza epidemic and follow it. If they used the records of doctors, they were accumulated a week before they were sent to the state, accumulated a week. They were always 3 or 4 weeks behind. But just watching how people were searching for things on Google, they developed algorithms of search terms which allowed them to map it. Amazon, I think we've all gone to buy a book and discovered they know better than we do what we should be buying. I wonder how to do that. Facebook, I'm a member of Facebook. They're profiling you all the time. Do you click like on anything that's commercial? They got your number. Smart meters. Some of you really like the idea of smart meters on your electrical systems for your house. Well, they not only measure the quantity, but they can measure the quality. They can tell if you're using the electricity for a computer or a television or ironing or whatever else, a lot of these models. Market analysis, we've already touched upon that, prediction, manipulation, and of course, modeling for geography. I like this example though. I'm always interested in something more essential, like pizza delivery. Just go to the web. So what do I think is important? Everything. Everything, but the eye and the mind must be connected. You got to start young. We start our kids, our grandchildren, very young on the granites out around Folsom Lake. Should you take trips? Of course. I met my wife on one. Travel? Well, of course. Travel everywhere, all the time. Where are you going next, Matt?
Romania.
Romania? Oh, that's good. But you have a full house on that one, so. CGS field trips, like today. Go out and enjoy them. And when it comes to big data, use big data to see the big picture that otherwise you can't see. Fly down the coast over the Hearst Ranch, Morro Bay, the Irish Hills, Santa Maria out there on its plane. South of that, Vandenberg Air Force Base with its big airstrip, all of its missile launch points. Round Point, Arguello, and Point Conception, coming over the Santa Ynez Mountains.
Thank you for
Lake
logging
Chumash
out.
down below us.
Today was a wonderful day. Please come back tomorrow.
Red, blue, green.
Congratulations.
You reject the good enough. You reject words like symbolism and postmodernism. Obsolescence is not part of your vocabulary. Every night, every day, every step of the way, the diktat of fashion, the agenda of the color wheel. Gone. It takes more than a pretty face to catch your attention. I repeat, it takes more than a pretty face to catch your attention. Good. That is very good. We are source decoded. For you. For the most perfect moisturizer. The most advanced cosmetic lineup. Scientifically proven, scientifically tested. For you.
Congratulations. Calibration completed.